Everybody thinks that's his name, Joe Douglas. Well, it is Joe Douglas, but it's Joe Douglas Battle. Well, our really? Deepest sympathies. And then another one, real well known.
I texted you when I heard about it.
A long time clerk of court, worked there for a long time, was elected clerk of court. I'm speaking of Donald Doge from, well, Opelousas, but Eunice Connections.
Right.
And he was 69 years old, rather young man, rather young man. My deepest sympathies to Sandra and the children and all of his friends and family. And Marilyn Dejean Leaper, she's been gone from our area for a long time. Do they say an age here? Got a little age, a little bit younger than I am, probably around the late 60s, early 70s.
72.
Mr. Bill Dejean, who was employed, and he was the manager, president of St. Landry Homestead for many, many years, lived across the street from Adelaide and the Richards on South Market Street. This is his daughter, Marilyn Dejean, and she had married Jim Leaper. Our deepest sympathy on her recent death. And the painter, you know the painter? You remember Mr. Russell?
You got it.
Mr. Russell had his little toddy every afternoon, little beer too. And Russell, of course, was when you needed a painting job done, to a finesse job, you called Mr. Russell. He took his time.
Finishing painter. A
finishing painter. He knew how to handle a paintbrush.
Welcome back, KSLO.
And did a great, great job. And of course, Mr. Mike Wallace, who was the first big name when they started 60 Minutes, which is still very popular today on Sunday afternoon on CBS at 6 p.m., I might add. I like to watch it.
I learned something new. His son is Chris Wallace. That was on some of the other stations, but on Fox now. Chris Wallace, one of the big newscasters, is actually his son. So it's kind of neat. We talked about this last week. We just never got around to it. Quite a man. This past Sunday, they showed probably a whole section, 20 minutes, of all of the people. He met every important person that lived during his time. And every scandal.
And he talked to the mafia, and he'd ask them about how many people.
Did you kill somebody?
Did you kill so-and-so? It's been said that you killed so-and-so. And he's, well, how many did you kill? I mean, and the young man who was interviewing him, and he's not that young, but he's a CBS man now, 60 Minute man. He says, you weren't afraid of your life? He says, no, I wasn't afraid. I became friend. I'm not out to hurt these people. But he sure.
It didn't help, I wouldn't think.
I don't think. But then again, they'd say no, and you know that
might help too.
Might help too. And let's see what else I have here. Well, Mike's Nathan Stansberry. Nathan Stansberry, a district attorney for 22 years. Right. He was succeeded by our present district attorney in Lafayette, Acadia, and Vermilion parishes, Mr. Mike Harson. Right. But Nathan was a Superman. He was remembered as a devoted public servant. What better term, better 3 words, devoted public servant. That was what his friends had to say about him, you know, one of the things they had to say about him. He was 77, which is young today, but he had dementia and Alzheimer's for quite a number of years. So to his family, our very deepest of sympathies. And of course, a recent, I guess you call this a tragedy, young David Lonklow III, age 44, is deceased. And his funeral will be held today, Thursday, April the 19th. Mass of Christian Our Lady Queen of Angels, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. today. And of course, I learned about it through his cousin. I think it's cousins, and their land, their lots touched each other, so they saw each other literally every day of the year.
I think it's.
And I'm speaking of Larry Lonkler.
I think Larry's his uncle.
Uncle?
Uncle.
I didn't.
I think so.
I didn't think it was his uncle, but anyhow, he very, very close. I know he was very shaken up by this event that took place. Our deepest sympathies. Then there's two people that I've never known them, but apparently well known in speedboat racing would be, I guess, the word, one of the terms you could use.
Right.
And you see in the Morning Advocate, Beyond Comprehension, and they show this long canal here.
That's between the I-10, the Chaffalau Swamp Freeway.
Yeah.
The I-10 overpass between Baton Rouge and Lafayette. What? That's what that is? You don't think that's what that is? I see the crossover that they added.
Yeah, I guess it is, but I don't think that's where they got killed.
Okay.
They got killed near New Iberia in the what's the big development there?
Right. That's probably just a file photo they used to show a boat.
I guess so. Both men were members of the Florida Powerboat Club, which posted a message about the incident. It took place last Saturday. And they both got killed immediately. The boat blew up and caught fire.
Wow.
And with the rescue teams that experience they have in that area, they were able to locate the two bodies. And I'm speaking, of course, of Mr. Leon Artimon. And I've never seen it spelled this way. And I read a lot of newspapers and obituaries and all. O-R-T-E-M-O-N-D, which is the way it, in French, is the way it sounds. The Dr. Artimon with retired UL president, his is AU. So anyhow, Mr. Leon was only 65 years old, and his son David was with him, and he was only 39 years old. I know that really shook up the Erath area, all Delcombe, and New Iberia. That's New Iberia. What's the, oh man, it's at the end of my tongue.
Mr. Segura?
No. The big area where everybody works. They work at the
port.
The port of Iberia.
Got it.
Ah,
the
Lee
port
Bobby.
at the Berry, as they like to say, the guys that work down there.
And he had several successful businesses over the years. Our deepest sympathy.
Targill Supplies for your butcher supplies, your spice supplies. They can handle all that for you. And cake baking supplies, all their kitchen supplies right there on Wartall Avenue, right on that main drag when you come in right off 190 here in Opelousas. 25 years of experience. You can go to targill.com to see all their different things, labels, plastic products, and cutlery. All their great place to go for Father's Day and Mother's Day gifts.
One other thing that Mike Wallace with the CBS 60 Minutes did with someone locally was Mr. Hugh Thompson. You remember Mr. Hugh Thompson and another individual soldier stopped the murdering of the children and the women and everything in Vietnam.
Right.
And they went back a few years ago. Mike Wallace took them back to that area and reintroduced them, and it was a real tearjerker. It was really, really something to see the Vietnamese hug and kiss them.
The My Lai massacre is what it was called.
That's correct.
Or My Lai.
My Lai massacre, real bad. And of course, Hugh Thompson is right here in Lafayette, a hero. And how
about some more sponsors? Let's give me Slimco in. I got to sneak another one in. Slimco's giving out scholarships, 20 scholarships, $2,000 a piece. You can qualify if you're a Slimco customer or the child of a Slimco customer. One scholarship at a time. It's all, they want to see what your academic results were from the fall 2012 semester, so you can qualify for it, or if you're a graduating senior from a high school, I believe you can also qualify. To get more information, you can go to slimco.com, or you can call Miss Mary Laurent at 896-2520. It's a great thing, and they're going to give out all the scholarships over at the annual meeting, the big party they have each year. One more. I'm going to sneak another one in on you while I got you.
While we
catch your breath. LHC Group, all your home health care needs. LHC Group can help you with the medicine, equipment, you know, the breathing apparatuses, the lift chairs, the special hospital beds, the machine that lets you call for help if you got to press a button to call for help. They can get the therapists in your house. They can get the rehab people in your house. They've also got the Health and Wellness Center here in Annapolis off of Heather Drive. They can do all that for you, all about helping people.
And LHC has gone into other states, expanded quite rapidly, and a group that started, had its original first emergency doctors, if I'm not mistaken, was the Schumacher Group, headed up by Dr. Kip Schumacher. And from that little infancy start right here, now their main national headquarters is in Lafayette, Louisiana, last time I heard. They have now opened, have teamed up with its first extension into the state of New York. This is the first contract for the Schumacher in this area of the United States. They've gone into Middleton, New York, and Harris, New York.
Amazing.
And amazing what these little Cajun-type companies can do. Right. It's just literally amazing, and we want to congratulate Kip and all of his group.
Friday night, go to Music and Market this weekend. It's going to be Dustin Ray and Southern Groove playing Zata Cajun music, and the vegetable at the farmer's market is going to be mustard greens. I'm sure to be smothering some.
Last Saturday night, I was watching television, and Lionel Richie and friends in concert. And Lionel Richie's, his voice is still just beautiful, mellow. And the first person that was on it was, that I saw, first friend with him at the time, was Kenny Rogers. And Kenny Rogers had kind of done some facelifting and all of that, but he looks pretty normal again, lost weight like I did. He must have heard that I was losing weight.
You make sure you're matched.
I hadn't thought about that.
Maybe you need to do all that kind of stuff.
Because I mean, he might watch us.
He
may just be watching us right now. Who knows? You know, you don't never know who's watching.
That's right.
But the funny thing about it, and the program was great. It really, really was. All of his friends, they were all doing great. The next day or so, I read that IRS is trying to get the state of California is trying to collect $1.1 million in unpaid taxes.
So that's why he had the concert.
And that a lien has been issued warning the singer's assets may be seized. So I bet that's why his friends are helping out.
KSLO Television, we'll see you folks on the other side of 3.